As the camera zooms in, we see a fortress of bacteria, a stronghold guarded by a towering wall. The bacteria are thriving, growing and multiplying behind their seemingly impenetrable defense. But they are not alone. There are whispers of a powerful enemy on the horizon, an army of antibacterials who will stop at nothing to bring them down. As we watch, a group of antibacterial soldiers come into view, dressed in their armor and armed with a variety of weapons. They are a diverse group, each with their own unique strengths and strategies. Some are carrying small, sharp implements that they wield with great skill, while others are carrying large, cumbersome weapons that look like they could shatter the very walls of the fortress. We see that the common soldiers are unable to break the wall on their own. In order to destroy it, some super soldiers were made who could control special weapons with the power of a special beta-lactam ring. 4 rings were given to 4 super soldiers, each with their own unique weapon. The first soldier appeared old and had a lot of armor. He wielded a wooden spear that looked to be old, but was still very strong in breaking down the wall. The second soldier had a gun that could shoot spores on the wall, which were effective in breaking many parts of it. The third soldier was a pyrotechnic who made car bombs. These bombs were so powerful and dangerous that they were only used when there was an unbreakable part of the wall. And the fourth soldier was special, as he didn't have a weapon. The beta-lactam ring was the only thing he had, but it gave him super strength enough to punch down walls. The mnemonic was designed to help remember the different classes of antibiotics that target the bacterial cell wall. Penicillin and its derivatives, such as amoxicillin and ampicillin, are represented by the old soldier with the wooden spear which looked like a pencil. Pencil for penicillin. The armor that he wears represents the beta-lactamase inhibitors, such as clavulanic acid, sulbactam, and tazobactam, that are often given in combination with penicillin antibiotics to increase their effectiveness. Cephalosporins like ceftriaxone and cefepime, represented by the second soldier with the spore gun, are another class of antibiotics that target the cell wall. They are often used as a broad-spectrum antibiotic and are effective against a wide range of bacteria, just like how the spores could destroy large portions of the wall. Carbapenems are drugs that end with penem, like imipenem, meropenem, represented by the pyrotechnic soldier with the car bombs, are a powerful class of antibiotics that are reserved for severe infections or when other antibiotics have failed. They are effective against a broad range of bacteria, including those that have developed resistance to other antibiotics. Finally, monobactams, represented by the fourth soldier who only used his beta-lactam ring, are a newer class of antibiotics that are effective against certain types of bacteria and are often used in people who are allergic to other classes of antibiotics. The name, monobactam, comes from the fact that these antibiotics contain a single beta-lactam ring in their chemical structure. Aztreonam is an example of a monobactam antibiotic. It is commonly used to treat infections caused by gram-negative bacteria such as Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Escherichia coli, and Klebsiella pneumoniae. As the war on the bacterial cell wall continued, the soldiers were faced with increasingly complex and powerful weapons. The next weapon in their arsenal was a van that resembled a futuristic tank, equipped with a powerful gun that could shoot tracer bullets and target and destroy specific bacteria. But that wasn't all. The van also had the ability to shoot frost cyclones that could freeze and shatter the bacterial cell wall. Let's break that mnemonic down. The van is for vancomycin. The tracer beam in the mnemonic represents bacitracin, as it targets and disrupts bacterial cell membranes. The frosty cyclones in the mnemonic represent phosphomycin, as the drug can freeze and shatter the bacterial wall, and the cyclones in the mnemonic represent cycloserine, as the drug inhibits cell wall synthesis in a way that disrupts the normal structure of the bacterial cell. Vancomycin is a glycopeptide antibiotic used to treat serious infections caused by gram-positive bacteria, including methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, MRSA. Bacitracin is a polypeptide antibiotic that inhibits bacterial cell wall synthesis by interfering with the transport of peptidoglycan precursors across the cell membrane. Phosphomycin is a broad-spectrum antibiotic that inhibits bacterial cell wall synthesis by blocking the synthesis of an essential component of the cell wall, called N-acetylmuramic acid. Cycloserine is an antibiotic that inhibits bacterial cell wall synthesis by interfering with the synthesis of the peptidoglycan layer. It is primarily used to treat tuberculosis. Here's a summary of the full mnemonic for the antibiotics that work by targeting the bacterial cell wall. Cell wall, represented by the wall that the soldiers were trying to breach. Beta-lactamring, represented by the special ring that gave the soldiers access to super weapons or superpowers. Penicillin, represented by the old soldier carrying a wooden spear that looked like a pencil. Cephalosporin, represented by the second soldier with a spore gun. Monobactam, represented by the fourth soldier who just used his beta-lactam ring. He was a modern-looking supersoldier used to treat tough infections caused by gram-negative bacteria. Carbapenem, represented by the pyrotechnic with car bombs. Carbapenems are a class of antibiotics that are broad-spectrum and used to treat severe infections. Bacitracin, represented by the tracer beam on the van. Cycloserine, represented by the frost cyclones. Cycloserine is an antibiotic that inhibits bacterial cell wall synthesis by interfering with the formation of peptidoglycan. Vancomycin, represented by the van that carried the gun. Vancomycin is a potent antibiotic that targets and inhibits cell wall synthesis in gram-positive bacteria. It is very effective in treating MRSA. Phosphomycin, also represented by the frosty cyclones. Phosphomycin is an antibiotic that inhibits bacterial cell wall synthesis by blocking the first step in peptidoglycan synthesis. We hope you found this video informative and that the mnemonic we introduced will help you remember these important antibiotics that target the cell wall of bacteria. Thanks for watching.